watching the Hella Dope Show. Listen, guys, if you like movies, video games, TV shows, anything and everything that has to do with nerd culture, then come subscribe to our channel where nerds like us can talk about the things we love. The Hella Dope Show. When you're here, you're family.
Where the fuck is that from?
It's not Olive Garden. So the first topic we're going to talk about is Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive. Kingsglaive?
Kingsglaive.
Kingsglaive.
Yep.
Which is a movie that's supposed to get us excited about the game. I don't know much about it. We talked about it a little bit last episode, but we're going to get into more details in this one. So Andy, since you're a Final Fantasy nut, I'm going to let you take care of this.
I wouldn't say I'm a Final Fantasy nut, but I just enjoy the synopsis. Alright, so previous episode we did look into it just a couple of seconds, put into it with clips. So, Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive is the prologue to the Final Fantasy 15 scenario. Alright, so, recent release, 12 minutes on YouTube. A lot of people have been commenting, and everybody is...
So what did you like about the 12-minute teaser? Or it's the opening 12 minutes of the movie. Like,
yeah.
You didn't watch the full movie yet, right?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I'm waiting for it to come out with the game.
Okay. So the 12 minutes that you watched, does that get you excited about the movie? Or?
It got me really hyped so far. 12 minutes for the movie. It felt rushed in the first maybe 2 minutes. Okay. You know, they talked about how, you know, the king and everything like that abandoned everybody, and it's just like, what's going on and everything. But so far, so good. I love the action, especially with the summonings for the different monsters. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, watching it, it was one of those things where I definitely saw the effort and the detail that they put into this. I think it's incredible to me how beautiful it looks, you know what I mean?
The cinematics are really nice.
Right, but I do agree with you that it does feel rushed a lot, especially in the beginning, because it's, I don't know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, who am I cheering for? It's just a bunch of action and swords flying around, and this big demon thing comes and it's like kind of attacking the city or whatever. Yeah. So I'm like, but I'm curious about this movie because basically what it is, it's a 12-minute trailer that's supposed to get us excited for a movie that's supposed to get us excited about the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just don't feel I don't know what the point of this movie is.
I kind of wish they didn't release a 12-minute, you know, just promo for it. Kind of just wish they just held off and just like let people just go watch it. Yeah. Because now I'm like thinking like, should I really find the effort and go out and look for the movie to watch it, or should I just wait? But again, it's just that beginning feeling. I mean, it didn't really explain much to us. And again, like how you said, it's just fight. And it's like a bunch of glitter bombs everywhere, how he teleports. And it kind of just like took my attention away from everything else. Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt that it looks beautiful. Yeah. Like, I feel like CGI, especially when they use it, it's incredible. Just the facial features, hair, which is like weird, we're talking about hair, but like, even the hair looks good, you know what I mean? The people fighting, that always looks good, but it's a Final Fantasy movie, and like you said before, Final Fantasy movies never had a good reputation. I feel like there's maybe like a handful of them that do what they're supposed to do, but this movie feels like it's just another advertisement for Final Fantasy 15 video game. Yeah.
But not to bash on the movie itself, you know what I mean? But again, if you're gonna put out a promo, kind of at least, you know, let us know what we're expecting, you know, because I kind of expected more, you know. But that's just my opinion. Of course, other people have their own ideas about that promo. But I really wished. Okay, backtrack. I liked it. Hated the other ones. It really outshone all the other movies that they have released so far. So it's breaking the boundaries in a sense for a CGI movie for Final Fantasy, because all the other 2 or 3 Final Fantasy movies were also CGI, but they were terrible. And of course, they were like later years, they didn't have as much enhancement and technology and stuff to make it look good. But still, again, it just felt like they didn't put into effort and just said, fuck it, let's just push this out right now.
I mean, again, like, it's supposed to get us excited about the Final Fantasy 15 game. I just feel like a lot of money, I feel like, is probably invested in just that movie, you know what I mean? And it's supposed to get us excited for the game, but I'm already excited for the game. Like, I'm going to buy this game, you know? I feel like certain games as a gamer, you kind of have this obligation to play them. Final Fantasy 15 is probably that game, because whether it's a good game or a bad game, It's a game that a lot of people are going to be talking about for a long, long time. I just feel like the movie just I don't get it. I don't like. I know it's supposed to like. I'm sure the Final Fantasy fans love this stuff and they enjoy it and they want to get deeper into the history of what is Final Fantasy 15. But I feel like I don't know. Like it's not for me. It probably wasn't made for somebody like me. Especially since I don't know if you know this, but like a couple of months ago they released like an anime type promotion. It's a couple episodes.
I think it's called Brotherhood.
I think it's called Brotherhood, where it's like the 4 guys. Is it 4 or 5 guys?
The 4 main characters. They're all together, and it's introducing who their characters are.
Exactly.
Introducing who the characters are. Now that I like.
So me too.
That's perfect right there.
Yeah, that's perfect. Like, that's all you needed. Like you didn't need like I'm sure millions of dollars were put into this movie.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a good movie from what I hear. You know what I mean?
Because of course we haven't.
We saw the 12 minutes, but like I feel like a lot of the people who are talking about it already kind of in between. But as I feel like it probably does a better job than the other Final Fantasy movies do. But at the same time, I'm not really looking forward to the movie as much anymore.
Yeah, and I'm glad you reminded me about Final Fantasy 15, the short series that they're putting out. I mean, that's what you'd expect, from previously wanting to play Final Fantasy 15, because all the other FF games, it was just you jump into the story, they explained it, and then that's it, And I'm already anticipating that they're gonna do that for Final Fantasy 15. You're gonna jump into it, and as you play along, you're gonna understand the story, the roles of each person.
Right.
But Brotherhood, if it's called Brotherhood, it made sense. It was the right option and the right way to go about putting out a short little anime series for the game.
Right, especially since the whole game is dealing about those 4 characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure the movie, like, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you're gonna watch this movie. You know what I mean? But for me, the type of guy that I am, and I'm okay with, like, movies and TV shows kind of getting us prepared for the game. Like South Park did the same thing when Stick of Truth came out. They did. They had but they released episodes like on air. Like it wasn't like an inter-promotional thing. It kind of got us hyped for what the game was gonna be. And I'm okay when like people are when they do that stuff. But it has to be entertaining. It has to be like interesting. It has to be good. And the 12 minutes it's a lot of stuff. Like for my eyes loved it. My brain loved it. There's just so much stuff going on.
It's too much to comprehend and like diagnose it.
Exactly,
together,
but like I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'm probably gonna watch the movie. I'm sure you are.
Are or
probably aren't. Yeah,
okay.
I'm probably not gonna watch the movie.
Once we see, we'll do a short little segment about it.
Yeah, you talk about that movie.
Maybe we'll do it like once we actually have the game as well,
right.
So we can see if it actually relates to leading up to the game.
Because I'm gonna play the game. Like I said, it's one of those games I feel as a gamer you're gonna be obligated to play it because it's a game that a lot of people are gonna talk about for a very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kingsglaive.
Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive.
So after Final Fantasy, we're going to talk about Deus Ex, which is a game that I was really looking forward to. Not so much you.
Not too much.
But we both got our hands on it. We both played it. I think I put about 10 hours into it.
Oh, you spent your life on it.
I put a lot of time into this game, Andy.
Okay, I put in. One whole hour.
Okay. I feel like for you that's pretty big.
It is a big accomplishment.
Because I don't think this game is your type of game.
It's not.
It's not.
Be honest.
But it's cool that you did get to play because the whole point of this show when we started was like I'm the more hardcore video gamer. You're more of a casual.
Heavy versus light.
Right. So like you put light hours into this game.
Very light hours.
So like, what did you like?
So far, what I liked about Deus Ex, if that's really how it's pronounced.
Deus Ex. It's not Deus Ex. It's Deus Ex.
It sounds like it's supposed to be. Alright, but what I liked about it, gameplay was really good, actually. There's a lot of detail to what you have to actually pay attention to with the game. You can go be stealthy and be like Metal Gear Solid style, or you could just be run and gun and like kill everybody. So I like that you got the option,
How did you play it though? Because it is stealth. It is
run and gun, just like GTA.
Okay, like how did that feel when you were playing?
It felt good because I felt like once they were dead, I wouldn't have to worry about them. Okay. So it was just like one and done. I wanted to kill them and get rid of them, then jump on to the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, when I played it, it was stealthy because stealthy is healthy. That's how you play the game. You know what I mean? So sneaking in through the air vents and taking my time and figuring out what's the best path to take. That's the type of guy that I am.
Okay.
But like when shit got hard, when shit went crazy,
he said, "Fuck it."
Like man, people are dying. But like even with that, like I felt good because there's only like one. I think I killed one person on my entire playthrough.
Really?
So I still kept the real life.
Was that like just the beginning portion?
No, this was later into the game because it gets really hard. And there's this robot guy walking around like all clunky and shit.
Terminator style.
And you can't punch him because I'm just used to punching people like behind the back.
Yeah.
So like I punch this guy, he grabs my arm and just fucking murders me. You know what I mean?
Punch him in the balls, you break your robot arm.
Yeah.
So
you can't bust his steel balls. So like I had to like put a shotgun like bam 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 and then
literally like Terminator.
I had to take matters into my own hands, and that's what I did. And that's the only one person I killed, which is a cop.
Robot cop then?
It was a RoboCop. I killed a RoboCop.
You killed a RoboCop?
RoboCop's in the game. But that's the only person I killed. So a lot of games that kind of talk about how you have options. You know what I mean? And not sometimes a lot of those games they don't deliver.
Okay.
But I feel like with Deus Ex they really did a fine job because I never felt penalized. Even when I killed that cop, I never felt like, oh, that's the bad choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Back into how I played the game. Of course, yeah. They told you like go through the vent. You got to do this, got to do that. Of course, I did that as well. So I was just learning about the options.
Right.
So I did experience playing it a little stealthy and then being able to chokehold somebody to sleep and flip him and punch him in the face and knock him out. So I did experience that, but when I replayed it a second time just to play the second time for the beginning, I did go into the more just run and gun, I'm gonna kill you and continue on.
Yeah, but I mean they do a great job. Gameplay, man, it's did you play the last one that came out?
I did not.
Human Revolution. So like even if you haven't played that one, like go check that out. But you don't even have to for the Mankind Divided because it is like a 12-minute introduction
to lead up to what's been happening.
And it really does a good job. Just kind of
recap.
Yeah. So it does a great job, kind of telling you what happened in the last game. But even if you haven't played it, like I never felt like you needed to know. I mean, there's more to experience personally, especially if you play the first one. Some of these characters return, so it's cool to have like, oh, okay, I remember this one.
Yeah.
But even if you never played Human Revolution, you're not really missing out, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that I liked is that you can pick it up and kind of just learn on the go. If you're just an average gamer or an experienced gamer like yourself, you know what I mean, you can kind of just figure it out.
What did you think about the plot?
Plot?
I mean, you got an hour into it, so you probably couldn't get as deep as that.
No, I didn't get to the actual. I mean, you can kind of already get the idea about what the main storyline would be up to, but I mean, I didn't figure it out. Yeah.
I mean, I love the story, especially in the beginning because it is a lot of intrigue and spy stuff, and has this kind of like I really like the style that they do. It's kind of like noir.
That dark, ominous, like Sin City kind of
Blade Runner stuff.
Yeah,
it's really good. But the story I felt was really intriguing, and even a story never really hits you in the face. Like you can just kind of play through this game without really getting into the story. But if you want the story, it's in there. You have emails that you can hack and get into, read little stuff. There's newspaper articles, TV channels you can watch, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's something that's pretty cool. Actually, sorry to cut you off, but it's one of those things where you can learn on the go. You know what I mean? You don't have to really spend way too much time trying to figure out one portion. You could just be like, you know what? I'm gonna come back to it and then go do something else and then go back to the main story. Yeah, I mean the main story is great, but I think I enjoyed just the side stories a lot better. There was a story where I'm sneaking in to people's apartment, trying to figure out where's this drug deal happening, trying to find people who are missing. Even the opening side story, I don't think this is spoiler related because it's a side mission. It's really early on, but you try to go to this different part of the city and there's this cop
cut a block at you. He's like, I need your documents. I need this, and then you give him documents.
He needs the augment document.
Yeah.
That's where I stopped at. Actually, that's where I stopped at, and then I had to go to somebody's apartment, get the documentation and everything like that. So yes, I was on that part.
And then you find out like this guy is bad. This guy is like taking advantage of these augmented people. Yeah. And he's overcharging these people who really don't have money. And that's another thing I really liked about the story, because there's a lot of social issues that you can kind of relate to.
It's very political.
It is very political. Like, it's basically discrimination, like racism, like stuff that...
That's like the perfect way to describe Deus Ex right there.
It is. It's very political. And it's like basically people are getting taken and put into these, what's essentially a concentration camp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So your job is kind of negotiating your way through that, either by dialogue or sneaking your way past some of these missions. And it's, I don't know, the choice that you have in this game is really, it's why I keep playing this game. I just want to see what happens next. I like the character of, I think his name is Adam Jensen.
Is that the main character then?
I think that's his name.
You know what's funny? Playing the game, I never really paid attention to his actual name.
I'm never good with the name. I played the last one.
I can see his face and be like, that's from Deus Ex.
Right.
I know that, but I can't figure out his name for the life of me.
I think Adam Jensen. I'm like,
sounds about right.
I'm 90% sure. Like, I played the last one too, but I'm never good with names. But there's a lot to like about this game. What didn't you like? So
what I didn't like was, back to what I liked. It correlates to each other. I really didn't like the fact that I had to jump into it and use what I already knew about the game. Well, do what I knew about how to play games. I kind of wish it would have had a deeper tutorial. You know what I mean? Like it would run through playing the stealth mode, and then playing the actual run and gun type of feel. I wish they had more of a detailed tutorial where you're more hands-on because they kind of just explain things, let you read it, and then you just went based off of that. Okay. That's really the only thing I didn't really like about it.
Yeah. I mean, the tutorial, it could be a little more in depth, but I think I still enjoy the tutorial because it's one of those tutorials where they teach you how to do it, and then once they teach you, they give you a choice. Like, do you want to go back and do it again this way, or do you want to just continue?
At least they give you the chance. Because if you screw up, you know what I mean, they let you restart it again and then try it again until you feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, but that's one of those things where the tutorial could be a little more in depth, but what they give you, I think it's still fine. Like, I really had no problems with the tutorials myself, and plus I played Human Revolution.
Yeah, so you played the previous game, so you were already kind of familiar with it, compared to me who just jumped into this. And I'm pretty sure there are other gamers who have just picked up the game just because it's a really popular game, let me try it out, and just popped it into the PS4 or Xbox One and then decided to play it, and they're kind of like, okay, I move with this, I use this to shoot. Oh, I have 3 options to choose how my button layout's gonna be. That was the main issue that I had. Like, I just give me what's given.
I mean, but even the 3 choices, because you have the one for the speed run. You know what I mean? I don't know if you saw that, where it's people. So it's dedicated to 3 different play styles.
Levels, yeah.
So, and the first playstyle they give you is the game that the people who made the game want you to play. So they want you to play a certain way, and that's the first option. But if you want to play how Human Revolution played, that's another option. If you just want to speed through this game, that's another option. And I'm probably going to play it one more time. Okay. Because I'm playing on the hard difficulty, and then once I do that, I get the super hard. So I'm probably going to play super hard just to see. And the super hard one seems crazy as hell because it's 1 life, 1 death, so if you die, there's no save. You gotta start from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's one of those hardcore type stuff, and I really want to check that out.
Okay.
As far as what I didn't like, which isn't a lot. I liked a lot about this game.
What's one small thing you didn't like?
So the game gets really repetitive, especially if you play it a certain way, which I did. So if you keep playing stealthy, kind of sneaking in through the doors, or sneaking in through the vents, if you keep doing this over and over again, every time you start a new mission, that's the first thing you're kind of looking for. Okay, where's the vent? Where's the code? And then after a while, you kind of get into this rhythm, and it becomes a little less challenging.
Yeah, it gets less fun in a sense.
A little bit. I mean, I still enjoyed it for what it is, but I mean, as the game goes on, they do a good job of putting more lasers, putting more security. So like not only are you going through the vents, now you gotta make sure that the cameras are looking at you, that the turret that they have on you isn't trying to kill you. You know, so like they do a good job making it harder, but after a while you kind of get into this rhythm of just like doing the same thing over and over again. So that's one of those things that like I kind of had a problem with. It just felt a little too repetitive at times. Another thing I kind of didn't like was the shooting. And I played more stealthy, and when I used a gun, it felt okay, but I felt like it didn't have the right impact that I wanted. But since you did play it more of the shooting in the first the first hour, like what did you think about the shooting?
Well, yeah, since I played just mainly killing and everything like that, manhandling everybody, getting different guns, that was cool. You know what I mean? I got to pick up somebody else's firearms, pick up ammo and everything like that. It was decent, but each gun felt the same as you were shooting. You know what I mean? Like if you're playing like Call of Duty or something like that, or another type of shooter, you get that feedback where the gun pulls up and you kind of have to like concentrate more. I didn't get that feel from Deus Ex. I just felt like, oh hey, just aim down the sight, or you don't even really have to do it at all. And also when aiming with the sights, it was not accurate for me. I kept on trying to shoot over at people, over like they're like behind something, using something as a barricade, and as I was trying to shoot them, and you barely see them and everything like that. In normal games, if all the games that I've played so far, you could do that, you can accomplish that shooting style, and they would die. You know what I mean? You could land a headshot right at the tip of their head, and that's it. You go on to the next one. But in that sense, when I played Deus Ex, I didn't get that for some reason. It may have just been maybe my eyesight was just really that bad, but when I did try to do it a bunch of times during that whole entire hour, it didn't work.
I mean, that's the thing, like Deus Ex, like even if they give you that option of like just shoot gun and run, that type of style, it is a game that's meant to be played stealthy, at least in my opinion. So that's why I kind of gravitated to that play style, just because I know how these games are meant to be played, especially playing Human Revolution. I knew that I would get the most out of it if I just kind of snuck around stuff. And again, like shooting is fine for me. Like I don't think I ever had that problem. But like when I did shoot, it was the stun gun. So like even with the stun gun, you were like this close to the guy. You know what I mean? Like, you were pretty close to the guy. So because it doesn't have the right range. You know what I mean? So like I never felt, at least like long distance, I never really had that opportunity to kind of test that out. But shooting, I don't know, it could be better.
I feel like they would need to work on it a little bit more, because also with the guns and everything, like it said you had a certain amount of ammo, but I felt like it was a little off. When you're shooting anything like that, you kind of like pay attention to like how many times you just single tap the trigger and everything like that. But I felt like it was off as well. Again, I could be wrong, but it's just my personal opinion. I wish there was better enhancements for the firearms and everything, and it could be totally different. Like how you said, you know what I mean? You're supposed to be more of the Clockwork detective style, feel for the game compared to, more lethal, Rambo-ish, esque type of feel. So, I mean, everybody has their own opinion, so that's just mine right there.
So, I didn't really have too many problems with the game. The gameplay, like I said, I really enjoyed. Story, I thought was really good. The graphics, I really had no problems with. I know you didn't really like them.
Oh. No.
So what was up with the graphics for you?
For me personally, I didn't like the graphics, you know what I mean? I saw gameplay footage from the previous game, and yes, it did look more rendered, it looked more smoothed out and everything like that, and it looks like they're trying as hard as they can to make it really nice, but I feel like if they spent just maybe 2 months more time, or give it a year's more time for releasing it, they could have made it into something really nice.
Sure. I mean, obviously, it's one of those things you have a certain time to make the game, and you really want to push these games out. And I think it also depends on what system you're playing on, because I know you played on a PlayStation,
PS4,
right? I played on an Xbox One, obviously PC if you have like a super duper computer.
The super duper fast.
Like it's probably the best graphics. But I feel like for what that type of game is, I wasn't expecting mind-blowing graphics. I wasn't expecting like GTA, Naughty Dog stuff. What I mean?
I mean, Deus Ex, you can already tell like it's mainly there for the story. You know what I mean? Compared to, let's give it 150% on how it's gonna look. I don't think that's what they were aiming for.
I mean, for an RPG, I never expect mind-blowing graphics because a lot of these RPGs, they try to cram the story, they try to cram level design and all these missions into it. And kind of the only exception of that would probably be The Witcher 3.
Okay.
It's one of those games where it's like an RPG, but everything looked top-notch.
Yeah.
But like for a game like Deus
but
Ex,
they spent a lot of time on that one too.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time. But even if Deus Ex says it's been 5 years, so they had a lot of time to work on it. But again, like for the type of game that I know what I was expecting, I was never expecting like Marvel graphics. And I think what they did with the graphics, making the world feel alive and interactable and having all these different people in the streets, very rarely did I feel like I was running into the same conversations over and over again, or that I was running into like the same people over and over again. So like even the graphics, they may not be The Witcher or GTA 5 or Uncharted type stuff. I feel like they did a great job for what that game is.
Yeah.
And again, like
what they lacked in the graphics, they made up for the storyline, and the gameplay itself.
Exactly.
I really, one thing to really mention as well is the voice acting and everything, because in the beginning cinematic portion of the game, you're being spoken to, you're given a briefing and everything like that, and it just didn't really line up too well. If you were actually like really paying attention to it, it was off.
Like the mouthing?
Yeah, you didn't get that full he's actually talking. It just felt like, it's a robot talking.
Okay.
I mean, he is augmented, but still, it just didn't get that good, nice, crisp feel.
So, I mean, let's get to the recommendations, because obviously you played an hour of it. I mean, you couldn't get as much of it that I did, what I mean? But for the hour that you play, is this something that you would recommend?
As an amateur gamer, I honestly would recommend it. I rented it out of Redbox for maybe 2.5 days, but I was still only able to get an hour's worth into it. I wish I could have played more of it.
Busy schedule, man. I get it.
But I really wish I could have gotten more into it. I think I would have really liked it if I had maybe a week's worth of time to play it. But money's tight, so that's why we're making these videos.
Right.
I would recommend it. I would recommend it to a simple gamer or anything like that, but I would explain to them first, I highly recommend you play the first game before you get into the second one right here, you know what I mean? Just so that they be more prepared for the type of environment and what they're expecting. Or at least do more research into the game.
So yeah, that's actually a good point, because it is one of those games where, because the Human Revolution, like the first game, like it's pretty cheap, get your hands on that, play that, and
it's like there's like an exclusive right now for like $5, but
yeah,
it'll probably be done by the time somebody's watching.
It's really cheap. It's really cheap. So like, get your hands on that just to see if you like the gameplay mechanics, because it is like really special, like the stealth and the combat style. It's really special. I mean, obviously, like I spent a lot of time into this game, and I can't wait to go home so I can play some more of it. But like, no doubt, like I would recommend this game for anybody. So like Deus Ex, man, thumbs up for me. So that's it for today's show. Talked about Final Fantasy, talked about Deus Ex. Final Fantasy, I know you're looking forward to it. Deus Ex is already out, so go pick that up.
Or rent it.
Yeah, my wholehearted thumbs up for that one, man. It's probably
give it a shot.
Probably gonna be in my top 5 games. I don't know if we're gonna do that at the end of the year.
Top 5.
Yeah, but I know it's not gonna be on your top 5. But we gotta do like a top.
We can do something like
top
that.
list like end of this year.
It's in development.
Yeah, I'm still thinking probably gonna make that list for me.
All right.
So thumbs up, Final Fantasy Deus Ex. Go check that out. If you guys liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you guys have anything to add to our conversation, please feel free to comment down below. Me and Andy are on YouTube all the time, so we will reply back to you because we have nothing else to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
So subscribe to our channel, like I said before, man. The Hello Dope Show. When you're here, you're family.
Stop doing that. You get in trouble.